Hello and welcome. In today's session we're going to take a brief look at Outlook Web Access and what it looks like compared to the familiar desktop Outlook experience. Okay, so now here I am in Lisa Jones' online Outlook Web Access portal, and I'm looking at Lisa's Outlook Web Access. This is exactly the same as her desktop Outlook, and let me show you that for a moment just so that you know that I'm not fibbing. Here is her web access and here is her Outlook, and you can see I've got the same emails here, and this one hasn't been read, and if I come back to the web portal there's the same one that hasn't been read. So you can see quite quickly that they do look similar. However, there's a big difference. In my Outlook desktop client I've got this folder list so that I can see exactly where I've put things and also which are my favorite folders. In my web portal I appear to have lost my folder structure, and I have to admit the first time I went into this quite a while ago now I got completely thrown and I wondered where my folders are. I'll simply click this more button under here and that will expand, and there are all the same things. There are my favorites and there are all the folders that Lisa has, just like in the desktop application. And if I want to get back, I'll simply click the back button and they disappear again, and this helps me to keep things in perspective, keep a nice uncluttered screen. So what else is different? You might be wondering how you start a new email, because there's no nice great big button, but it's kind of, there is, because it's the plus with the new sign. So I'll click new and my new email now starts in the browser in the reading pane on the right hand side of my screen, where I can start to address it and it picks up just like Outlook desktop client does, and I can choose the person I want to write to. I can type my subject line and type my email as normal. Now you might be wondering where all the other options have gone, because normally in your Outlook desktop client, so if we come back in here and start a nice new email from there, I've got this whole ribbon with all these different things, and I've got my options. Things like a delivery receipt, a read receipt, BCC, and if I'm sending on behalf of. So if I just minimize that again, I have 3 dots, and those 3 dots allow me to go in and see options. So here are some of the options, and I can go and show message options, which will bring me even more detail, and they're fairly self-explanatory once you see them. They do the same things that the desktop ones do. There are less, because obviously you're working on the web, there's less clutter and it wants to be nice and simple and quick and easy. Now if I don't want to send this email to Helen, I can choose to discard it, and I'll just discard that email and say yep, I do want to discard it, I don't want to continue with that. Now one of my favorite things is when you first start Outlook Web Access, you have this nice navigation bar at the top, and to get between the different apps you need to show the app launcher and click on the bit you want to go and see. Well, you might be noticing that on Lisa's app launcher we've got Outlook and we've got Calendar, and I can simply click that little calendar and jump through just like I can in the desktop experience. So here in my desktop, if I go back, you will see that I've got mail, calendar, people and tasks. Some people have those really small. I actually prefer to see them large. If you want to change it, you can go to the navigation options here and choose compact navigation, and that will turn it into these small little dots, and then you can just drag that out, make it a little bit wider, and there are your email, calendar and people. But personally I prefer to have the regular navigation. It's just the way I like to work, but that's entirely up to you. So how can I replicate this in Web Access? So in Web Access I can come to my app launcher, I can come to people, and I can see these little 3 dots, right click on those and pin to the NavBar even, and there I have my mail, calendar and people. So I am replicating what I have in Outlook itself. In this short video, we've seen an introduction to Outlook Web Access and its different interface. We've compared it with the Outlook desktop interface. We've seen how you can find your folder list even though it appears hidden when you first go there. And we've seen how you can add those icons to the navigation pane. We've also seen that when you start a new email, the 3 dots or ellipses give you access to further options that you may wish to set. So that's it for this time. Tune in next week for more on Outlook Web Access and where you can change your options and set more detail up. See you then.